how's it going, everyone? It is Skullzi here with the latest and the greatest gaming news. Today I want to break down the leaked Starfield ship image that we got in that huge Starfield leak yesterday. If you're not familiar with this leak, then you are in for a huge surprise, because this leak is actually legit. Not only is there actual evidence that you can find within these images themselves that kind of proves this, but at the same time I have heard from not one but multiple different sources that were able to verify this leak with me behind the scenes. And different people in the industry kind of heard from their sources verifying this leak was real as well, but go ahead and still take a grain of salt with this, because I totally understand if you don't want to trust some random content creators' anonymous sources. If you want the complete breakdown of this leak, check out the video I uploaded yesterday though. It'll get you fully up to date with the biggest Bethesda leak since pre-Fallout 4 times. But today I want to focus on this leaked image right here. This spaceship, and what I assume is your spaceship. That's right, you get a spaceship. And you get a spaceship! First off though, the amount of detail here is insane, and some of the details even make sense on a technical and mechanical level. This alone is a major piece of evidence supporting that this leak is indeed true, beyond the anonymous sources and all that. But there are actually a lot of details on this ship to break down, and let's start with one of the areas we'll probably be spending a lot of our time in, the cockpit. You can't demonetize me, YouTube, I'm saying a word that's part of a spaceship. Cockpit. And this looks to be the best candidate for the cockpit right here, as the way the windows are oriented reminds me of military aircraft, where tactical visibility is of utmost importance, so therefore you need windows allowing you to see in as many directions and angles as possible. And if you squint just a little bit here, you can even make out what looks to be the interior of the ship through the windows as well, although it doesn't look like it's fully finished quite yet, as from what I'm able to tell, it mostly just looks like bare walls with some sort of texture and structural assets. And that would make sense, as this leak is said to have come from an early 2018 build of Starfield, and judging by the overall scene in which we see the ship here, it looks to be just the ship asset placed into an empty scene on the developer's side of the game engine, meaning they just placed the ship asset literally into an empty game scene and then just took a screenshot for lack of a better technical explanation. It's totally hype though to think that we'll actually be looking through these windows as we pilot this ship on the hours upon hours of our space adventures in Starfield, and that just gets me so hyped. I can't believe we are finally actually talking about real Starfield images, like it's really happening. We are actually seeing assets from this game finally. We finally have something to visually align with all of our hype and speculation, and I am so happy, so happy. I'm sure Bethesda's pissed though. Next, you can see various obvious thrusters located around different areas on the ship, and one thing that comes to mind here is that these thrusters seem to be located in different realistic locations, meaning these thrusters are placed in areas that would make the most sense in terms of where you'd most likely see these on an actual, I guess, spaceship like this, even though that doesn't exist. You can even see right here on the ship's wing, for lack of a better term, there are even thrusters on the front of the wings as well, indicating that these would be used in order to aid in reverse maneuvers. It also appears like there are various creases and slots in the wing as well, indicating that it might be able to move around and change the angle and direction of the thrusters to give a wider range of control over how the ship flies, and potentially this wing may even have enough range of mobility to allow for vertical takeoffs and landings straight from a landing pad or a planet's surface. We can also see what I believe to be various different windows located all around the vessel as well, some windows even having different shapes and dimensions, likely to better accommodate the design of the interior room the windows complement. And in addition to windows, I was able to spot multiple different doors or entry points in order to board and disembark from the ship as well. The first and least exciting one is this hatch portal right here, likely serving as some form of maintenance access or alternative entrance or escape. There's also another hatch like this on top of the ship right here, likely indicating that there may be more hatches like this located in various places around the ship. And then we have a more obvious set of doors right here, likely serving as the main door on this side of the ship. And in front of the door appears to be some sort of ramp that lowers down and possibly extends for the away party to more easily disembark. And on top of this may be a bit of a speculation salt moment here, but it looks like these doors are just part of a larger door mechanism, being this entire rectangular piece right here. I imagine this entire rectangular portion opens up and is like a much larger bay door, allowing for a much larger opening in order to load and unload cargo, or maybe even to allow a rover or a land vehicle of some kind to drive off and onto the ship as well. Imagine not only flying a ship, but actually driving in a Bethesda Game Studios game for like the first time ever. there. This leak is truly the hero 2020 needed. I couldn't really find any obvious signs of weapons or anything like that, so either the ship doesn't have weapons, which would be weird, or this is a starter level version of the ship that has yet to have any weapon attachments, or maybe these are some form of lasers or kinetic cannons right here, but in my opinion they look more like some sort of exhaust port or smaller thruster to me, but who knows, I'm not super awesome spaceship man knowledge boy. These definitely look like fuel tanks though, with B-tank clearly being visible on the side. I wonder if Bethesda will put enough depth into the ship gameplay elements that if the fuel tanks get damaged, you could actually start losing fuel, and same goes for like other damage to specific areas of the ship's systems. Most games with spaceship combat allows you to damage certain systems of a spaceship by targeting specific portions of the ship, and the same could happen to you as well. If there is indeed ship-to-ship combat in Starfield, I'd imagine that would be the case, although the absence of any weapons on the ship may indicate otherwise. And then we have the weird pogo stick boy at the front of the ship right here. I tried to figure out what the heck this thing could be for a while now because it definitely looks strange. Is it a weapon of some kind? If that's the case, then this orange structural element thing would be right in front of the weapon, putting it in danger of getting blasted off completely when the weapon fires. So is it instead some sort of mining tool? Is it a safety mechanism to prevent the front of the ship from colliding or scraping with anything? I can't really say for sure, but it seems to most likely be some sort of weapon or mining mechanism of some kind. And then located all around the ship are various white words that I can't really make out as the image resolution is too low except for this DF093 or 099 or whatever it says right here, which is most likely just the ship's model number. And there are a few other logos as well, most notably this one being an upside down red triangle, which also appears to be the same triangle from the HUD in the other leaked image, although they're just both triangles, so that comparison may be a bit vapid, but I'm not sure what any of these triangles could mean. If anyone has any triangle knowledge, please let me know down in the comments below. Oh wise triangle sages. Now as to whether or not this is your ship or just one of the ships available for purchase in the game, or if this is the only ship we'll get and they'll actually build up and upgrade this ship as time goes on, we can't really confirm or deny that one way or another, as this is the only leaked image of a ship that we've seen regarding Starfield so far, since I believe the structure in this other leaked image is not a ship but actually part of a much larger building. But like I said earlier in the video, it's finally awesome to finally have something real and more tangible to speculate over and break down, and I can't wait to see what happens next regarding this leak and the future of Starfield. I'm just so hyped to finally play this game! That's going to finish up today's video though. This video was brought to you by the following amazing people. If you want to help bring the community future content like this and get a future video shout out, then support the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. Check for links down in the description below for other ways to follow the channel and join the community as well, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when the person in the spacesuit was actually Todd Howard.
It just works.